All the sanctuaries of Asklipieion were established in places that fulfilled the climatological conditions to offer a natural, healthy environment to patients. In the Kos's Asklipieion, the balance of air, water, and earth is perfect. The sanctuary is situated 4 kilometers northwest from the town of Kos, on a pine-clad hill from which the view is breathtaking. The site is laid out on 3 terraces. The Avaton, the most important building among all the sanctuaries, is found on the 2nd terrace near the small Ionian temple of the god. At the top of the stairs on the 3rd terrace stood a magnificent large Doric temple of Asklepios. All around the place grow tall, impressive cypress trees. They invoke the memory of Apollo Kiparisios, Apollo of the cypress trees, who was worshipped here before Asklepios. Professor Nikos Yalouris, who served as General Inspector of Archaeology for years, carried out thorough research concerning the structure and functions of the ancient Asklepieion. He says, at the early stages, religion was inseparably linked to the healing art. However, the cult of Asklepios was purely spiritual and had no elements of idolatry at all. The priests carrying out the task of the doctors gave primary attention to the psychosomatic functioning of the patient. Their effort aimed mainly to facilitate self-healing. In other words, they tried to awaken the godlike power that we all carry in ourselves, the force of self-defense hidden in every human being. In antiquity, the followers of Asklepios' healing art were called Asklipieions, and this term is still in use. The most famous of the Asklipieions was certainly Hippocrates, the great physician who exercised a permanent influence on the development of medicine and the evolution of doctors' ethics. Plato referred to Hippocrates as a famous Asklepeiad who had a philosophical approach to medicine. He called him the Ihfk of Kos. The Asklipieion Kos, established after Hippocrates' death, served as a bridge which gradually led from religiously oriented medicine to the purely scientific. This is Hippocrates platanos, the famous plane tree of Kos. According to tradition, it was under this tree that the great father of medicine taught his pupils, establishing the principles both in theory and in clinical practice. The work of Hippocrates and his students, compiled under the general title Corpus Hippocraticum, deals with the subjects covering almost the whole texture of medicine, that is, anatomy, surgery, clinical treatment, diseases of women and children, preventive medicine, pharmacology, and medical ethics. Hippocrates maintained that blood, phlegm, yellow and black bile are the 4 humors that constitute the basis of the body's functioning, and that good health depends on the balance of these 4 humors. According to Hippocrates, illnesses develop in 3 stages. First, imbalance of the body humors, then incubation, And thirdly, crisis or resolution, accompanied by the release of harmful fluids. He believed in few medications, mainly sedatives, emetics, herbs and drugs, but he placed particular emphasis on baths, simple diet, cupping glasses, scarification and bloodletting. Hippocrates made much use of operations too, as he supported the view that the physician should use the knife when other kinds of treatment fail. Establishing the ethical and moral rules of medical practice is perhaps the greatest gift of Hippocrates to humanity. The Hippocratic Oath contains the promise by the physician to safeguard the highest human and professional duties by leading a simple and honorable life and by practicing medicine honorably. Hippocrates was the most able to assimilate the accumulated knowledge of the previous centuries for the transition from empiricism to rational medicine, says Spyros Marketos, professor of history of medicine at the University of Athens. The medical school of Kos had a profound understanding of human suffering. It was emphasized that the place of the physician is at the patient's bedside, and that each disease has a natural cause. Hippocrates believed in the healing power of nature, denied supernatural explanations, and removed the art of medicine from the realm of superstition and magic. Throughout his life, Hippocrates appears to have traveled widely in Greece and Asia Minor, practicing his art and teaching his pupils. Professor Koshiro Otsuka of the Tokyo Medical College calls Hippocrates the great father of environmental medicine, as he observed carefully and explored holistically the close relationship between human health and the natural environment. In one of Hippocrates' medical treatises entitled On Air, Water and Places, he underlines the influence that soil, water, and plants exert on human health. He also emphasizes the influence of geographical factors, climate, weather, and diet on human biology. In Japan, says Koshiro Otsuka, we insist that human body and environment are inseparable. In Olympia, the human body, glorified through athletics, reached to the divine. Hippocrates' presence had to be continually felt here, and his teachings applied to medical care. His wisdom must have guided officials to deal with the serious environmental problems as effectively as possible.